Look at Diego in the background. He's all, God, he's so smart. This guy's so smart. Look at him. Look at him. Everything he says is gold. I've never heard him say something that was not true. I've pressure tested all of his lessons, and they're always right. He's the best. So, no, check this out, guy. All right, so when I pull your arm like this, and then I grab your head like this, then look at you fall. You see that? Did you see that? And if you were actually fighting me, this would have worked just as well. And you see this move that I learned with my 2-week army training? Like, that would totally work in a real fight. I would totally be able to do that if you didn't just let me grab your arm. Yep, see here. Okay, now here, let me grab your arm. And by the way, right there, you know what he said? He said that if you punched him in the shoulder and he went like this, it would break your hand.
It's even folding. You see this? Yeah, it'll break. So this is not a good strike.
All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. So my goal with this video is to not make it 31 minutes, okay? So what we're gonna do with this video, and I'm gonna be talking about Joshua Fabia and Diego Sanchez because there's not anything more interesting than that going on right now, and they released new training footage that is also totally crazy, okay? So I am going to go through the new training footage. I'm also going to re-go over the thing where he's hanging and, becoming a human punching bag, because there's a bunch of stuff that I missed the first time I watched it that I'm going to talk about again. I think I was so shocked by what I was looking at the first time that I basically missed a very critical piece of that I will talk about on this video. Then I'm going to talk about additional footage that I found of Joshua Fabia trying to train people like backstage at a UFC event, which is, I don't even know what to make of it, but I'm going to just empty my mind while I watch it with you guys. And the last thing, I have an interview from Diego Sanchez that I'm going to show you guys because it is very telling. It's from 11 years ago, and it speaks directly to what I've been talking about in these previous videos. So let's jump into this thing. Here is the new training content and the old one that I already showed you, but all of it, and we're going to talk about it, okay? Now, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. If you're asking yourself right now, how have I never heard of this channel? That's probably a good sign that you should be like, I should just make sure that I hear about it next time. So if you like it, subscribe, comment, like, etc. You guys are awesome about that. Let's go. All right, so here is the full training video that hanging punching bag excerpt was taken from, okay? So here we go. And it's very, very telling. So we start here. We've got Diego doing some breathing. This is normal. I mean, someone doing yoga or Buddhist meditation breathing, totally normal. There's nothing weird here, right? But the rest of it after this is not only weird, but makes no sense as it relates to training methodology. Okay, so look, this shot right here should tell you everything about this, right? So if anybody was wondering how this video got taken, that panning shot should tell you. This was meant to be a commercial. Like they meant to stylize this as if people were gonna think this was cool. Joshua thought that people were gonna look at this and go, wow. There are multiple parts of this that are crystal clear that this was a Joshua Fabia commercial. Okay, like that's what he thought this was going to be. He didn't realize anybody was gonna see him kicking and punching, Diego in the head and then completely delegitimize him as a trainer forever after that. Because he's a moron, okay? So, here we go. So, he's doing this, he's hitting him with the stick. That's actually totally fine, right? You see, look right there. See that? Are you recording? And we're going to get into why that, aside from the fact that it's insane that he thought this was a good idea, but this is going to be his commercial. So, right, so now he's giving Diego CTE. We've already seen this. But there's a big thing that I missed besides the panning shot and him going, hey, are you recording? And I'm going to talk about that in a second. Okay, so CTE, Diego's, hey, look at me slap this professional fighter. Look at me. Look at, I can slap him. You know what I learned? Even though I'm 5'2", if I say things confidently, people listen to me, It basically, people just do what I say, or at least weak-minded people, He should go up to Khabib and try. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to talk about that in the next part of the video. Not this, but the next video. And just imagine the shit that he pulled backstage if he did it with certain other fighters. But anyway, so yeah, we're just... kicking our fighter in the back of the neck, close to the brainstem. Now we'll just throw a knee, straight to his hands, which hit him in the brain. So that was good. Oh, nice one. Really good. Now look at this. Look at this. Okay, when do you do that? When you're training, right? This is him trying to look like he's training. If he's training Diego, why is he slipping punches? Why is he stepping back and then trying to display his, oh, look at my movement. Look at how I step to the side. Oh, look at me change my angle. Look at this. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm in him out. That's how you know this is all about him, dude. That's how you know this is all about him. I'm pausing it right there. That's how you know this is all about him, okay? So, like, if you are training your fighter, okay, like imagine, let's just pretend that that had some form of positive impact for your fighter, right? Like I can't imagine what that would even be in anyone's imagination, kicking and punching a guy in the head when he's blindfolded, but let's say that there was some benefit there, right? Now imagine Trevor Whitman doing that, right? Imagine Trevor Whitman doing it, or imagine, I don't know, Greg Jackson doing it, right? Would they be stylizing it? Would they be stepping back and then punching and kicking them? Would they be, doing shimmies and they're like, look at me, okay, he's blindfolded. Who are you showing off for, dude? Like, who is this about? They are blindfolded. Why are you, okay? If you're doing it for the fighter, then you do the thing that needs to be done and you're not looking like you're shadow boxing for a camera, okay? Like, it's all about him. It's ridiculous. And it just makes it more infuriating, to be honest. Like, it's just like this video, there's only one part where I'm going to, shit on Diego a little bit. But this is really about Fabia because, anyway. All right, so now we're going to do this next part, right? So let's start that, where Diego is going to be blindfolded in a ring, and the training session, the methodology, whatever, is that Diego's going to be running around blindfolded in the ring, okay? As if we're in the movie fucking Bloodsport, okay? Like, this is... I would love to hear a person... Like, look, am I an Anderson Silva level striker? Of course not, okay? So maybe someone who is can correct me in the comments. But as far as I understand striking in general, what possible benefit would there be to blindfolding your fighter, okay? Like, eyesight and connecting rhythm and all that is a critical part of striking, right? Like, this isn't a movie, dude. Like, this isn't a movie. I'll show you why he's doing it here, and then I'll explain why this makes no sense. Okay, so he's blindfolded. Ready? Here we go. Let's go. This is all right. So look, so he's ripping around the ring, right? And Josh is whipping. Oh my God, does that have a buckle on the end? I didn't even realize that. I thought it was a towel. The thing has a buckle on the end. The thing has a buckle on the end. The thing that he's whipping him with. It has a buckle on the end of it. I didn't even realize that was part of this. He has a buckle on the end of the thing he's whipping him with. Okay, whatever, but who cares? Bottom line is what he's is training him to do is to immediately counter the second that he gets touched, right? To just turn it into instinct, where if you get touched, you immediately barrel forward, countering, right? So you get touched in the arms, you get touched in the head, you get touched in the body, barrel forward, striking with counters. How on earth is that good striking methodology? You get touched, you immediately barrel forward with multiple strikes? Like, what the... I mean, I guess for Diego, maybe that kind of works. But, like, dude, no. Like, no. Like, no. Okay, a good striker is just going to step back and knock you the fuck out. The second they realize that you do that every time, because that's what you're training him to do it every time, right? A good striker is going to go, oh, okay, every time I touch him, he barrels forward. Okay, so here... touch, step back, boom, boom, out. Okay? Like, seriously, think about that. If he barrels forward with multiple strikes every time you touch him, step back, back, out. Well, I mean, or Diego, just more CTE, which apparently is Josh's goal. So, that shit makes no sense. That just makes no sense, right? Now, this is something that a person would know who had any experience, even sparring, dude. Any experience sparring, you would know that to train a fighter to immediately barrel forward, throwing multiple punches every time he gets touched is idiotic, okay? So now let's go to this next video because this one is interesting. All right, so hang on, let's go. All right, check me out. I am very small, but I am very confident. And when I stand like this and tell people what to do, they just do it. Look at me. All right, get in a good stance. All right, get in a good stance, dude. All right, this guy's strong. Look at Diego in the background. He's like, God, he's so smart. This guy's so smart. Look at him. Look at him. Everything he says is gold. I've never heard him say something that was not true. I've pressure tested all of his lessons, and they're always right. He's the best. So, no, check this out, guy. All right, so when I pull your arm like this, and then I grab your head like this, then look at you fall. You see that? Did you see that? And if you were actually fighting me, this would have worked just as well. And you see this move that I learned with my 2-week army training? Like, that would totally work in a real fight. I would totally be able to do that if you didn't just let me grab your arm. Yep, see here. Okay, now here, let me grab your arm. And by the way, right there, you know what he said? He said that if you punched him in the shoulder and he went like this, it would break your hand.
It's even folding. You can see this? Yeah, it'll break. So this is not a good strike.
Okay, that's what he said right there. It would break your hand if you go like this to the shoulder. Or if you punch him in the shoulder and he went like this. See, that's a broken hand right there. Now watch this. Watch this. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. 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 Seriously, look at that, dude. Look at that lesson. Okay, now it's over. Come on, dude. Come on. Now, we're going to go ahead and just jump over to Diego's interview. And here's the deal. You know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to just show you this one part, and I'm going to make the point that I'm going to make. Ready? Go.
On your record, and those were back-to-back losses, and since then you've looked great. I mean, obviously you've dropped down to 155, sort of reinvigorated your career. What changed for you after the second loss?
It wasn't really much that changed. I lost 2 close decisions. I wish I could have had 2 more rounds. You know what I mean? But as far as that goes, it was learning lessons for me, and I had to make changes. And it was, those were fights where the game plan was wrong. You know what I mean? It came down to game plan. I didn't get hurt. I didn't get close to being submitted or knocked out. I had the wrong game plan. I had the wrong, the wrong people behind me, the wrong circle around me, and I had the wrong game plan, and I did the wrong things, and I lost the fights. And now I have the right people around me, and my head's on straight, and I'm ready to go face anybody.
Okay, so read my mind, right? Read my mind. What about that clip seemed notable that I should bring up, right? It's from 11 years ago. Why did he lose the 2 fights at 170? Why did he lose the 2 fights at 170 according to Diego? Was it because he didn't fight well? Was it because, the other guy was good? Was it something about his skill set? Or did he say,
I had the wrong people behind me, the wrong circle around me. And
I had the wrong people around me. So I'm just pointing this out, that this is not something new. Diego, it's everything's everyone else's fault. Nothing's my fault. Nothing's my fault. Nothing's my fault. That was a default setting for him, okay? Because 11 years ago, he was blaming his losses on his team, okay? Blaming his losses on his team already. So just going to throw that out there and leave it there, assuming that you guys have seen my other videos, because, just going to say it, I tend to be right about this kind of thing. If I say, look, this is a guy who blames other people for everything, then you go, I don't know, Jesse. So he really seems to be under the spell of this Josh Fabia guy. Oh, yeah? Are you sure about that? Here, how about I dig up a fucking interview from 11 years ago where he's doing the exact same thing? Look at that. Weird. Anyway, so, yeah, I don't really have much to add beyond that. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Peace.